Chair Mark Cartier, Crystal Tenney, Board Vice Chair Pete Smith. I'm David Woods, Board Chair, and to my right, Steve Friedman. For town staff today, we have Brendan Somerville, Town Planner, and as always, our remote operating recording secretary, Patience Horton. I will appoint 2 members this evening because we have 2 members absent. So Mark and Crystal will be voting members this evening. And I did not see any field changes submitted, so we'll move on to the public forum. The public forum is for items that are not being discussed tonight. So if anyone has any topics they'd like to bring up to the board's attention that do not involve 294 York Street, the Union Bluff Hotel, or York River Landscaping, please raise your hand to be acknowledged. Seeing no hands, without objection, we will close the public forum and move right into the applications. First application this evening is 294 York Street, amendment to an approved plan.
Good evening, everyone. So this is an amendment to an amendment. This was previously approved in May of last year. The applicant is currently seeking to add 4 parking spaces and relocate their propane tank. At the last meeting, the discussion centered around whether or not that an LID practice or low-impact development practice was being utilized. For this district, there is a 75% lot coverage maximum. The addition of these 4 parking spaces moves them to 81%. So the applicant has revised their drawings to include, at least in the opinion of our engineers, a low-impact development, and they can answer more questions on that technically from here.
Great, thank you very much. Good evening. If you can just introduce yourself, spell your name for the record, and then just give us a brief summary of the updates.
Hi, my name is Walter Woods.
Turn on the mic.
Oh yeah, just, okay, thank you.
Details.
Hi, my name is Walter Woods, W-A-L-T-E-R. Last name W-O-O-D-S. And I'm here in reference to Carriage Landing and getting an amended plan to add 4 parking spaces to help increase parking for this parcel so we're not parking out in the street. Thank you.
Mike Sudak, Adder Engineering. Last name is S-U-D-A-K. Would you like me to spell Michael?
Nope, that should be okay.
Okay. And yeah, we were in front of you last month. Just a quick summary of what's in front of you. And feel free to give me the hook as you see fit. So the plan set in front of you, the half size is that line works in red, but instead of me, I looked up Vanna White, by the way. I don't look anything like her.
Well, if you put the gown on.
I have a twin sister, and I don't see the resemblance. Anyway,
This meeting's off to a great start so far.
sorry. Just snap back in my memory. What you see in pink there is the limits of the prior approvals. That's the edge of impervious and that we're proposing to expand from. So you see the two spaces on each side coming further down. Good to go. Okay. So really, that was the main talking point from last time.
Sorry.
Good to go? Okay. What you see in yellow there is the LID that Brendan brought up. We're proposing to have the entire pedestrian corridor from the parking lot be changed into pervious patio pavers, so under-drained. That's the LID measure that we're hoping is satisfactory enough to have the board consider our...
Sir, could you shut that door? You'd have to pull it really hard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we go.
Okay.
Again.
Where was I? So that...
Impervious pavers.
Yeah, so that
Impervious
entire
pavers.
area in yellow is our LID measure, reintroduce some infiltration into the site. So that in combination with the existing detention and treatment that we have with our jellyfish and subsurface detention beneath the parking lot, we believe is satisfactory enough for the impervious overage consideration. Be happy to go through the comments from Mr. DiMatteo and Grohl Palmer's memo, but before that, any questions from the board?
Any questions other than some of the review items brought up?
No?
Yeah, we can go right into the review letter.
Sure.
I did see the fire chief letter was included in a packet from the last meeting, so
Yeah.
just one item off the list.
Yeah, solicitation for the fire chief and public works director. Letters from back on February 18th. Just Brendan and I had our wires crossed momentarily, but all of that stuff should be in front of you. And the remainder of this packet, so if I'm going through review summary highlights here, we just discussed the first four with fire chief and public works. Item 5 is the additional LID measure I just described to you. And then,
One letter with Public Works, or question I had.
Sure.
With the stormwater portion of, I guess, the plan was to take the sidewalk stormwater, if I'm reading that correctly.
it was to take it out of what's
Out of
being considered here.
Okay,
You took it out of the calculation.
Yeah.
They were gonna run it into that drain, and they instead kept it on the street,
perfect.
basically, yeah.
Mostly correct. Yeah, so in I know that the building is up, so in the pre-development condition, there was just a drainage easement that came through the site, and the 3 catch basins in York Street just daylighted at the back of this property.
Okay.
The original approval from last year was to have that flow be incorporated into our stormwater management system. And with the slight increase in impervious, it became untenable for us to keep that flow, so we ended up just effectively having it mirror how it was. So it just directly daylights back. That work has already taken place. That's what your letter from Mr. DePerio is from.
Gotcha.
And that work is actually complete.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for the clarification.
So beyond that, continuing on, I'm going to go over to the page 3 of 3 here. Chris caught me on one plan note that I didn't change regarding the relocation and change of the propane tank that's above ground. In its new revised location, the plan still says underground. I will change that. And besides that, all that I see left, new comments, item 4. Applicant should demonstrate dead-end parking accommodates safe maneuvering. So I'd be happy to provide a vehicle turning diagram. My preference would be as a condition of approval. That's, I believe, a pretty minor element just to show there's safe circulation with the new expanded parking lot. That's really the only other item I see here besides just the considerations for that impervious coverage waiver request. The Goral Palmer memo is completely clean. We still have a reduction in post-development peak flow, and it's their opinion that with this LID measure, that we satisfy the innovative stormwater requirements. So,
And another note on that, the allowance of the increase is up to 100%, and where you're not even going to that 100%, I feel.
right.
Personally, the measures you have taken have satisfied that part. So, does anyone
I agree.
agree, disagree, have
I
a
agree with
separate
that.
opinion?
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So you heard you said, I believe, that you'd be willing to demonstrate that you can turn safely in the dead end of that. Do we need to make a condition out of that, you think?
Do you feel that it is easily
Yeah.
done? Okay. So normally when we do a condition, it's a pass-fail. And if it's failed, then the application is pretty much denied by it not meeting that calculation. So that's the only concern I have with making.
Do we have to do this?
To do a,
I mean, we have, the radiuses are there, we have the turnarounds, left and right side, for the vehicles to turn into. And
I don't remember preparing something for the first approval last June or July. So And the substance of it really hasn't changed, it's just gotten slightly longer.
The width of the
All right.
the drive from the parking spaces to the building on the
24
vertical
feet.
side. 20, how many?
24.
So like
Then
Hannaford's
that's-
parking setup.
Then that's,
Correct.
yeah,
The only reduction is up front along the side of the building as it approaches the intersection with York Street. It is 20 feet there to the overhang of the building, but that was modification from the prior approval.
And that's that's actually at York Street.
Right.
But we do have a nice flare left and right side of that that's coming out there to, to widen that, accessing and ingressing out of that driveway.
so if you had, I wish I had that, I thought I had a copy of that drawing with my stuff, but if you had cars parked in all of the here we go, in all of the spaces that are available, Brendan, do we consider on a dead-end parking lane, 24 feet is adequate for turnaround?
24 feet is pretty average for the actual width of the parking spaces.
I know,
or for the separation between.
This
so-
doesn't go through.
Right.
it
So that would
comes
be,
to a dead
if it,
end.
if it dead ends, that would be considered average for your turnaround.
Okay, good. Just asking.
And I know from discussions with Chris, his concern was originally just with the placement of the dumpster being there.
Yeah,
But seeing as how that would normally be a dead end anyway, staff doesn't particularly have much of an issue with it.
okay, good, good.
That puts my worry at ease. Does anyone feel the need to have the turnaround engineered and put on
No.
paper, or do we feel
No.
adequate?
I think the
I do
space
not.
provided is adequate.
Thank you.
There was one comment about that Goral Palmer picked up with the drain daylighting.
Yeah, just showing where the under drain daylights to. It's going to connect up into the detention system in the parking lot. So that's just
Adding a
adding,
note.
yeah, adding one bit of line work and clarifying that. And then the subsequent comment was just a little bit of extra maintenance information added into the O&M manual, which we're happy to do as well.
Which will also be outlined in the covenant of the condo association in reference to, the responsibility of maintaining those culverts and so within that based on the maintenance schedule.
So I was running out of time, Brendan, because I had another project and anyway, doesn't matter. Did you get reply or comments from the fire chief about the repositioning of the propane?
Yes, they actually had, the applicants actually submitted that just after the previous meeting, or I think it was February 19th is when those were submitted. But those are included in the packet. It was a late addition as, as we said, kind of got our wires crossed in getting all that information together.
That's all I got. That's all I have. I think it's good. Want to have a motion?
Yeah, we would have a couple conditions that we would have to work on first, if you'd like.
I thought, really? What are?
One was to update the plan note, calling a underground tank an above-ground tank.
Yes.
Oh, and if I may, sorry, hopefully this doesn't derail you. Mr. Friedman? Your request during the last meeting was for an updated letter of financial capacity. We did provide that. It was a day after your minimum threshold for them to be in your packets, but that was prepared. So,
I haven't seen it.
yeah, it isn't something that went with the packets. We got it a couple days afterwards, but I just popped
Thank
in
you.
my head. So,
I was going to ask, so thank you.
yeah, thank you.
What would the condition be above and below?
To correct the language from underground tank to above-ground tank.
Okay. Anything else?
To add a note and update plan set to show the outlet of the under drain.
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
pervious paver under drain.
I'm gonna have to do that one again.
Yep. What do you have so far?
I got the, the language for the tanks.
Okay, yeah, so to add a note and update plan,
Add a note to the plan
um,
and update the plan.
and the,
Update
drawing.
plan and notes, right?
yep,
Okay,
to show the outlet of the pervious under drain.
for the previous.
Yes.
Is that it?
And submit an inspection and maintenance plan for the pervious paver system.
And, say that one again?
Yes.
Inspection and maintenance plan.
To provide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brendan, was there anything that you had seen?
No, staff is satisfied and think the conditions fit.
So I have to, the correct language, from underground tank to above ground, underground propane tank to above ground propane tank. To update the plan, drawing, and notes to show the outlet for the pervious under drain.
Yep.
And to provide an inspection and maintenance plan
For the under drain.
for the under drain.
That was a Coral Polymers note, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, you guys, did you all get that?
Yes.
You want to do it?
No.
You're gonna do it. Why not? You wrote it down.
I did write it down. A lot of
So the
things I
motion
crossed out.
would be, basically to approve the application from them, front sheet. And here we go, from them. Approve the application from them, this street, that map, right? With the following conditions.
You want me to take over for you?
Not two of them.
April, May,
We're not on a countdown yet.
It's got a succession plan.
days?
I don't
90.
mind that.
let's see, what's the date today?
27.
Not that I'm counting down.
I know you guys do things a little differently than I did on the previous planning board, so bear with
You
me.
wanna try, do it the way you did the previous one, let's see if we like it.
Oh,
Serial, I mean, I'm serious,
all right. Well,
really, seriously.
Mr. Chair, I approve, well,
You
Just wing
propose.
it. If it's not good, we'll do it again.
I vote to approve the Carriage Landing Bristol Point Number 2 amendment located at 294 York Street, tax map 50, lot 122, York Village Center, with the following conditions. Update plan note from underground propane tank to, and correct it to the above-ground propane tank. Condition number 2 is update plans to show outlet for the pervious under drain. I'm sorry, update and add a note. And the third condition would be to provide a maintenance and inspection plan for the under drain.
I would like to amend the motion where the first sentence says, "I move" rather than "I vote."
I move.
Yeah,
Do I have to read it all over
I
again?
make a motion instead of "I vote to."
Okay.
Otherwise, so I'm amending the motion?
Yep. Do we have a second for that?
Second for the motion as amended.
Perfect. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Mark?
Yes.
Crystal?
Yes.
Pete?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes,
Chair votes yes, 5-0.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate your time.
So,
Good job.
right.
You're biased.
Did I hand out that thing? Did you get that sheet?
Yes.
Steve did.
I have
Yeah.
another one.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you for your time.
Pretty sure I have it.
In my previous conflict, I vote to. Sounds like some of the language is a little.
Well, you would vote to if
Use I move to.
Stick with the,
vote to.
stick with the address. I get this all
I wanna
confused.
throw
294 and Gary, I'm like,
The reason the trouble I have with that word would be, when you vote for something, it means you're approving it. Well, you don't get to approve it all by yourself here. You have to make a motion, and then we all have to approve it. So that's why that wouldn't work really well, I think. So you can have that. I made that up for other people sometime in the past, and
That's perfect.
hold it, keep it in your, right where you can see it, because then you pull it out when it's time.
That's excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good. Up next, we have the Union Bluff Hotel, amendment to an approved plan, 8 Beach Street.
So this has been this has been before y'all before. I think this is the 4th meeting that we would have. This is technically an amendment to an approved plan. However, it constitutes a major site plan just by the nature of the size of the development itself. Crosses that threshold. At the previous meeting, the concerns of the board were largely focused on the proposed loading zone at the time being on Beach Street. The applicant has since relocated that to the 2nd level of the parking garage. The lighting value verification, which has since been adjusted on the plan. Architectural design, such as building height, turrets, the massing of the site, and glazing. The board must determine whether that criteria has been met. And then other items include a letter of credit, internal loading paths, internal circulation, and operational questions that reviews have asked. So
Great.
the applicant is here to present.
Thank you. If you could just introduce yourself, spell your name for the record.
Sure. Good evening, Peter Heil, H-E-I-L, here with Acorn Engineering. With me tonight is Encore Patel with Gary Hotel Management, the applicant and current owner of the Union Bluff. Happy to be back in front of you to present our recent updates. As Brendan just mentioned, did a great job overviewing, so I'll just quickly scroll and kind of highlight the specific areas that we've changed and addressed previous concerns both by staff and the board last time we met. So the primary discussion point was previously the loading dock area, which we had at the time wanted to show along Beach Street, as that is essentially the current condition of how deliveries are made for the existing hotel. Understanding that that would have required a waiver, and then the concerns and discussion we had previously. We ran turning templates and relocated the loading dock to have a striped loading zone area on the top deck of the parking deck as suggested by the board. With that, we also have added a second elevator internally to handle that load from the top deck and deliveries from the top deck. So deliveries would pull into the site, cart wheeled out around the parking deck, enter into the vestibule, and then into the elevator here, which has a direct door off the vestibule. Can go to all floors, but particularly down to the ground floor where the kitchen and service areas are. with the relocation of that loading dock, it does remove our need for any waivers. So we are currently proposing no waivers as part of our requests, which we're happy about. I think some of the other discussion points were regarding number of deliveries, and we did double check our numbers with the existing restaurant capacity. There's currently 2 restaurants. We're obviously expanding the footprint, but the total number of seats within the now single restaurant is actually going to be reduced. So deliveries for the kitchen would remain the same. And then for the expansion of the hotel itself and the rooms, currently there's very limited storage capacity. With our proposal, we are expanding our storage of towels, linens, back of house stuff substantially. So again, we confirmed that the deliveries would remain the same. So no additional deliveries are currently anticipated, even with the proposed expansion as shown. And then I will move to the renderings. And we also have floor plans elevations as well. But so one of the discussion points last time was updates to the turret to go to that 40-foot height, which we have amended as well. Kind of shows a little bit better on the elevations. But so as discussed previously, we are constrained with the actual rooftop elevation. I think we update it based on board feedback and looking to the board to, as Brendan said, confirm that it meets the design intent and regulations for that expansion of just the turret. It is just a architectural feature to better match the existing conditions of the hotel as well. And I believe that is it. We are requesting a vote tonight if the board is ready, as it has been our 4th preliminary meeting. So we would respectfully request vote as well. But happy to answer any other technical questions. I think the one outstanding comment in Chris's letter was regarding the rooftop HVAC screening, which we do show here. It's not going to be visible from any public right away, since it is elevated and central onto the roof, and it is screened. So hopefully that addresses Chris's comment as well.
Public, like the street or also the beach? And
The street, so typically, and it is a little bit up to interpretation, but the way I've historically measured it is as you're standing on the sidewalk in front of the hotel, because, what is the limitation if you're flying overhead? There.
The street in the back, what about Freeman Street?
yeah, would there be a Freeman Street perspective anyway?
Yeah,
So this is the elevation of Freeman Street. The renderings might do a slightly better job. So this is the renderings, and you can't really see them.
No.
I think what Chris was pointing out, it was more of the material and design to be, I guess, harmonious with the roofing material. What is the material as planned going to be?
Encore, do you have that?
Ankur Patel with Giri Hotels. I think if it was a condition to make it harmonious or use the same cladding or something like that, we can do that. We haven't developed the full architectural plans. They'll go for review, I'm sure, with the building department. But we'd be happy to accommodate any of that. And I just wanted to specify, I think from Freeman Street, also the plans do include, with the parking terrace, there's a lot of landscaping that'll be planted on Freeman Street. And a lot of that will also be blocking the view from Freeman Street of the roof of the building.
Meaning trees? What's blocking it? The
Well,
trees?
If you look on the,
Trees, so you
yeah,
can,
yeah.
we've kind of made the trees a little bit opaque, so you can see that you can see the building behind it. But you can see the shadow of trees.
Proposed trees?
Those are all proposed.
At what life span time are those images? What, 10 years after you plant them? or-
I'm not sure exactly. Obviously, when you first plant the trees, they're going to be 2-inch caliper, so they will take time to grow. But along with the trees, we also do have a pretty robust planting schedule. Not only trees, but additional shrubs.
Yeah.
You could see all the vegetation that we are proposing along the buffer, and then along with the vegetation and buffer within the Esplanade and Green Strip. They're separately, as discussed, we are proposing a light shield around the parking lot, a cedar fence around the parking lot, which will further provide additional screening.
So your question, well, I think it was your question, was the people who live on Freeman Street, what would they be seeing at the roof line?
Yeah, we were talking about the mechanical screening on top of the roof, if that was going to be visible
Yeah,
as a big box or kind of blend into the roof as the,
I mean, we
Design
could
standards.
require that they put some sort of architectural screening so they can't be seen.
yeah, that was one of Chris's comments.
Yeah.
Subject to roof pitch minimums,
Yeah.
location, and the material. So pretty much the intent is to camouflage it within the roof, or at least
The
make it
mechanicals on
feel,
the roof, so they're not seen, at least from first floor level of the houses on Freeman Street, not necessarily second floor, because that's, but I think with everything else, all the lovely landscaping and fencing and everything, it finished the job,
Yep.
Don't want anything that is gonna distract from how attractive it looks,
Understood, but yeah, as Encore said, we'll be happy to accommodate and work with staff or
Yeah.
Chris directly if there's specific suggestions they would like to
It's gonna
see.
be a condition if we get there.
yeah. Addition to,
Okay.
so that'd be to update roof if we're working on conditions as we go, so we're not forgetting things. Update mechanical screening.
Yeah.
On the roof. And that is 6B.
You want a piece of paper? You're gonna need it. Yeah.
Just trying to find the exact sighting that Chris was calling out. Roof design.
This is the first time we've seen the photographic elevations, right?
I think it was provided a few
They've
frames
been
ago.
provided in previous meetings.
Was it? Maybe I wasn't here. I don't recall seeing, I mean, those things are always, done in the best flavor one can make them, but it really looks nice in those pictures, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the 6D in the York Beach Village Center design standards. Location of mechanicals, parapet screens, or other rooftop devices used to shield mechanicals shall be integrated into the roof design through the use of similar colors and harmonious shapes.
Okay. Parapet screening.
Yeah. Okay. We kind of jumped around Chris's review, so I'm just trying to get back on track where we
Yeah.
were. One item that was brought up, if the board's ready to move forward.
Yeah, I am.
Was the lighting in the parking area. You mentioned the plan note was stating that you were going to be under certain lumens and
Under, yep.
Kelvin's scale. We just wanted to make sure that those lights will also comply with that note.
Correct.
And the lights on the upper level of the parking lot are going to be effectively screened from shining all the way down onto ground level.
Onto ground level. So the upper parking lot is essentially at ground level of Freeman Street, but yes, they're all properly screened, backlit. As part of the photometric plan we provided shows that there's no light spillover onto adjacent properties.
But as the parking level approaches the back of the hotel, it's no longer it's still at Freeman Street level, but Freeman Street isn't at its level anymore. I mean, the sides are no longer at that level.
Well,
You're saying coming up Beach Street?
Yeah, coming up Beach or coming up, yeah.
Coming up Beach Street, so
Or
the
let's say the
parking,
north, I would call it the east side of the hotel. There will not be light cascading down there
are you looking at?
from the second level. I'm not looking at anything.
Oh, okay, well, they have a lighting, whatever you call this.
photometric plan.
Photometric plan.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's showing the boundaries of the lot. And at a quick scan, I'm not seeing, the print is a little big, but I'm not seeing anything but 00.
I'm pulling it up now. Oops.
You want to see this?
Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna be scrolling through here. Thank you.
So here's the photometric plan as well.
You know
Yeah,
what
it's
page
hard to-
that's
It's a
on?
little hard to see from here.
You know what page that's on?
Let me,
In the mailing.
I don't.
okay.
But as you can see here, here's the property line, and we're 0 foot candles at the property line.
Oh, okay, I see, yep.
I think his other comment, but I think we talked about this at previous meetings, was the lights are going to be at 15 feet above finished grade, but the structure is 3 feet above Freeman Street. What was the elevation change?
It's not 3 feet.
No, the ramp was not that steep, I don't think, going in.
It's approximately a foot.
A foot, okay.
Yeah, 1 foot.
So it would put the lights at 16-foot elevation.
From finished grade, they're 15.
Right.
Because finished grade is
The structure
the
itself.
structure itself. So
That's the requirement.
Right.
But you're pointing out that it'd be out in the middle of Freeman Street. if you measured from there, it'd be 16 feet.
Right.
But all those houses on that side, I believe, are actually up above Freeman Street anyway, slightly. They all have a little grade up, I think.
I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, I mean, the standard is to measure it from finished grade.
Yeah,
You know, as
we
the
can't-
site drops, you know, substantially down
We can't
along
go
Beach
below.
Street as well, we're doing the same measurements.
Yeah, you're good on that, I think. I don't have anything.
Sort of compliant.
So you're increasing your storage space because you're increasing the size of the facility for your goods. What about dumpster pickup? How's that gonna
Yeah,
work?
so I think 2 meetings ago, we talked about that pretty substantially. We had altered it. What the current proposal is we are proposing 2 compactors in this location on the top deck of the parking area. Again, screened internally. The compactors essentially have plus or minus 4 times the amount of capacity of the existing dumpsters on site. There'll be a hose bib, so we plan on keeping it contained, keeping it clean, and maximizing the capacity of the system.
Okay.
For the compactors, just as far as operations, it's not a typical dump into a truck, right? They're swapping out containers.
I believe they do still dump them, don't they?
I think there's 2 versions of it.
Okay.
So there's 2 versions of it. The version I saw, actually, they were swapping it. But there are 2 versions of it.
I haven't had experience with them,
Yeah.
but I
Well,
could
we
imagine just coming and taking a dumpster, moving it off-site and bringing a new one in would be less noisy,
A compact.
because they're not shaking all the compacted.
Yeah, well, the compacting's happening on site, and it's, if you look at the design of it, I was looking at that, once it gets as much as it can compress, the compression blade is now up at the level of where you put stuff in. So you can't put any more in because
Oh, I got you.
compression blade's there. And it's, probably 10 times heavier than it was before it started. So I would imagine, I don't know, but I would imagine that's a replacement event.
Container swap.
So, does it matter to us as long as they,
I guess the benefit of the container swap is, I know some dumpsters can get items stuck in it and they'll be shaking it and it's really loud. So it was
oh, yeah, yeah.
a benefit to disruption, I guess, doing that style, but I don't know if there's drawbacks.
There's more, I mean, there's also more frequent trips than
Right.
with the dumpster
The
truck.
thing I read, they can do anywhere from 1 day a week to every day of the week, have it replaced, right?
Yeah, so we have talked about that during the peak season. They are scheduled 6 days a week with the ability to come up to 7 days if warranted.
That's pretty significant change from what they have now.
Yeah. So loading dock, it is moved into a
Inside.
screened area and you're hitting all the marks as far as compliance is concerned. Some concerns were brought up about turning radiuses going in and out of that parking area and unloading area now.
Yep.
Have you done the calculations for the wheelbase?
Yep, yeah, we run turning templates. It is based on a WD-40 box truck, which we've included as part of our recent submission, a letter to the service providers to make sure that they're following these procedures today. But will also be obviously in place moving forward with the expansion.
I have a question.
Yep.
First of all, I do want to make a note that I know there's a heavy discussion around the loading zone and the loading dock and the loading area. So I do appreciate you relocating that. I think that this is a fantastic solution. My concern would be safety. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic. So for the drivers to enter and or exit from that space, there's a lot of blind spots. So I was wondering what the plan is, safety for drivers and for pedestrians who exit and,
Inside the upper parking
Yeah.
area, you're saying?
Yeah.
And stepping out and driving back into
yeah.
Freeman Street.
Is it backing off of Freeman?
Because Freeman Street's a two-way street, correct? That's not a one-way.
Right.
So you're gonna have vehicles, the way I'm looking at it right now, I see a lot of blind spots. And for vehicles to drive by and people to drive by, I mean, unless the truck is kind of hanging out in the road, what are some safety precautions that could be included? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest with you, but just to
Yeah.
kind of brainstorm.
I don't foresee there being any potential blind spots. I mean, the existing cedar hedges that are currently along Freeman Street as requested by DPW are going to be removed. So there is going to be substantial vegetation and planting, but it's going to be much clearer and cleaner. It's going to be low other than those trees that we showed, which will be intermittent.
How
But
tall is the fencing?
the fencing is set back from the property. This is a 15-foot buffer. So the fencing at its closest point is, just over 15 feet. So the height is 6 feet, I believe. But with a 15-foot buffer, and it's actually more at the location, and even more once you get into the edge of the actual street lane. A typical parking space dimension is 18 feet long, so you could easily stack a car there without encroaching into the street and be able to see unobstructed both ways.
Okay.
So he said they're restricting it to box trucks, not semi
Tractor trailer.
Tractor
trailers,
trailers,
right?
yeah.
So the box truck has to, by definition, it's a lot shorter, and it doesn't articulate, or whatever the word is.
That's right.
It's straight. So, I mean, a person drives a box truck and they have to back into a driveway, that's their job, is to make sure they don't run someone over. I mean, I don't see how we can, you said a safety thing. Well, safety is that the driver makes sure he doesn't run somebody over.
Well, it's also being able to see a vehicle coming up to this driveway area, or someone walking if someone's not paying attention.
If there's a box truck.
No,
in
I
front of
understand. It's more or less about providing those sight lines.
Site distances and.
Correct,
from where
correct.
to
Just
where?
making sure there's visibility and not completely
From
blocked
where
off.
to where? I'm trying to make sure I understand, but
No, that's fine.
I mean, I've driven that road 100,000 times, so, I don't know, say I come up, Beach Street, is it? And I turn left,
Yep.
and I go down, and there's cars going. I'm in a truck. I'm on the right-hand side of Freeman Street now, because that's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm stopped. And I've got my back, reverse lights on and maybe blinking. I have to wait until the coast is clear, there's nobody trying to get around me from behind or front. I turn the wheel and back into the garage. I mean, how can we have gonna put people out there with flagmen every time they come? I don't understand the question is.
That's okay. I am not requesting for anyone to stop traffic. It was more or less the safety of being able to pull in and pull out safely with sight lines to be able to visibly see if you were to pull out, it's more or less, it's
Out
not
of the
necessarily
garage?
backing in, it's about pulling out from the spot to have sight lines to see if someone is approaching the vehicle, whether it's
Yeah.
pedestrian traffic and/or driving traffic, because that is a two-way street.
So the question would be the fence, probably.
Not necessarily. It's also the vegetation, because they had proposed trees, tall trees, they're gonna have foliage. So being able to
Will it
just
be-
see, it was about the safety of visibility to their surroundings, to be able to pull out of that spot safely, because in the summertime, it's heavily trafficked. You're gonna have cars, they park on the side of the road. There you have a lot of pedestrian traffic, and it's a two-way traffic street.
Have you done any sightline calculations for that?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I know we did the traffic analysis, but off the top of my head, I can't remember. I'd be certainly happy to provide those per DOT standards.
Refresh me on the traffic analysis you did. I had questions about that.
Sure.
From what I remember, the traffic analysis was done in the off-season.
It was, yes, off-season and under current size of the property without the expansion in place.
Well, you measure the existing trip generation or the trip counts based on the, obviously the existing conditions of the hotel, and then we project out the trips associated with the proposed demands. So that's a modeling that we do to show the level of service on the street networks to show.
I don't remember seeing the model adjusted for seasonality and increased contemplated velocity of guests, both for the lodging and the restaurant.
Just
I think was there a letter from DPW on that? I know the,
Yeah, and Dean made comments as well. Dean was satisfied with what they had provided.
Yeah.
For that.
that kind of put it to rest for me if town engineers were okay with it. I think the biggest project was that radius off of Beach Street coming onto Freeman.
So how far back from Freeman Street is that 6-foot fence again?
At the closest point, 15.
15
Yep.
feet? Okay, so if a box truck is driving out, at the top level, there's a 1-foot ramp down going out.
Correct.
So they're a little higher than Freeman Street, but not much.
Correct.
Okay, so I would think the cab and section of a box truck would be totally clear of the fence. The question would be, is there foliage or other things that would block their view such that they wouldn't see cars or people coming left and right? Enough to, stop and wait. I don't know. We can't, were there trees planned that would be fairly close to the exit? Do you know?
Pull up the landscaping plan.
I don't have the landscape plan, but.
And just to add some more context to the discussion, which is good. Most of our deliveries occur early morning. So whether, that might be lighter pedestrian traffic in the early morning hours. If there were, again, conditions placed on timings for deliveries and things like that, our operations team is ready to work with all of our vendors to.
When you say
To
early
create-
morning, like what hours?
We have some deliveries come in at 5 a.m.
What's
But most,
what's the latest one typically?
I don't know what the latest one is. I can't speak to that, but I would say most of them come, before kind of normal operating hours.
It just
in a
seems
hotel.
to me
So
that
I would say
anyone-
that goes towards the safety. So I think that's great.
It just seems to me that anyone who's driving out of that parking area, whether it's the delivery truck or a person in a big pickup truck, I know someone, and, or a car, you come out the exit, you have to stop and wait and make sure it's clear, right? No people,
in
no
theory.
cars.
It's
Like any other
the
dri-
non-adults that I
Any-
worry about up there.
Any other street, if you go down to the end of Freeman Street to Washington or Maine, whatever that is, you got the same issue. You're gonna have lots of cars going both ways and people walking, and you wait till you're clear. Otherwise you shouldn't have a license, I guess, maybe.
But at the end of Freeman Street, there's not a fence.
No,
Blocking
it's
you on
pretty
both
well
sides.
blocked. You have to get your nose right out onto Washington before you can see what's coming from your left, I'll tell you. There's some kind of a garage or a body shop or something there. Well,
Yeah, to
my
the
vo-
question of
my
the
vote is
species,
it's
we
fine,
do
but it's
propose a
one-
few pine trees, white pines adjacent to the driveway. We could pull those back from the drive, get it closer to the actual structure, replace it with a different species if there's one preferred. Happy to make that
Lower
change.
shrubs or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
I mean, a note that any landscaping installed should not restrict the view of a driver exiting. That would be appropriate, wouldn't it?
Perfect.
Where it's preliminary, it could be condition to update landscaping plans to increase site distance from exits or from the parking structure. What is the width of that hashed out unloading zone? If you have it off the top of your. Just trying to compare.
24 feet.
Okay. So as far as larger vehicles doing deliveries, your operations team is going to reach out to the companies to make sure they're sending box trucks or?
Yeah, so based on some of the feedback from, and some of the abutters comments as well from previous discussions, we've proactively reached out to vendors and said, and requested that they send only these smaller trucks
Okay.
at this point.
As far as signage or anything on the border of the property for no loading, no unloading zone, or is that
Yeah,
something
I think that'd be
that would-
worthwhile.
benefit?
Yes.
You mean like on the front door?
On the front, yeah.
Are you talking about for the current vendors who are used to going into the front?
Yeah,
And to get used to the new routine
I did
of
see
going
some
out
signs
back?
submitted,
Yeah.
which I appreciate those.
We can, we can place the appropriate signage where needed. Obviously, the front of the hotel will still be the front of the hotel for guest access.
Right.
Right,
Yes,
right, right.
absolutely. So maybe no commercial,
Yep,
No commercial
commercial
vehicles.
parking
At least
loading.
until they all get used to not doing it.
yes, that's the thing. We have to change habit.
Yeah.
Might not be the most attractive sign to have in the front of your hotel, but.
Right.
I think another thing to remember here too is the existing hotel can continue to operate the way it has been for years. There isn't really any unloading or loading zone, so this is helping the situation in my opinion.
For sure.
Yes, has the potential to increase, but they gave a pretty good explanation as to why it might also not increase. But I can see people just kind of parking in front of there, especially if there's already 2 trucks parked, doing an offload and kind of
miss that.
navigating through the parking structure
You miss
downstairs
that
and whatnot.
person.
So maybe even a scheduling of deliveries. I know that's hard.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think our vendors are scheduled
Okay.
on days. Everybody has fixed days.
Yep.
So this can all be worked out. And it has to be managed from a guest point of view, because in the hospitality business, we need to
there
make
to
sure
serve.
everybody's happy.
Another item that brings up, it kind of blocks the egress of the passenger cars from circulating out of that top lot. I'm sure you've
Yep.
have an answer for that.
Yeah. So as Encore said, property management will coordinate. We are anticipating most of the deliveries occur early morning, but in the event that someone has an early morning flight out of Logan or needed to get out early and the truck was there, obviously, the hotel staff would need to coordinate that and have them move ASAP.
Just a clarification, are the box trucks all gonna be backing in?
That's the way we have it drawn from a turning movement. It's the easiest. It allows them to unload from the back. It makes everything come out the back and closest. So that's the way we have it currently drawn out.
Okay, I mean, because it's a much, obviously, bigger concern with accidents occurring if they're backing into the street versus
Okay.
coming out
Well,
frontways. I don't know if
the
you
way the
can
garage is
enforce
made,
that.
they can't really turn around in the garage with a 40-foot box
Right,
truck.
which is why I want them all to back in if possible.
Right, yeah, you don't want them
I don't know how-
backing
I don't
out
know how
onto
you can
Freeman Street.
Mandate that, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the way the turning movements work. They have to back in, pull up past it and then back in.
Yeah.
But then that allows them to come out straight front after they're done.
Is the service delivery elevator strictly for deliveries,
No,
No.
it'll be dual purpose. Yeah, it'll be dual purpose.
There's 2 elevators. Is one for
Yep, so-
guests and one service elevator?
They're not
Okay.
designated, so I just highlighted it in red to show that we added a second one. But previously, we were just showing one elevator, now we're showing 2 elevators. Both are essentially dual purpose. This one will obviously be the one primarily used for deliveries, as it's directly off the vestibule.
Okay.
Do you have deliveries that happen simultaneously at the same time? What is the plan for this new proposed loading zone if there were to have 2 deliveries at the same time?
Yeah,
Can they
so-
fit?
Well,
They be able to-
just specifically in the manner in which we reached out to the vendors and about the box trucks, our plan is and our intention is to have strict schedules on the deliveries. We do have more storage, so we can store more things now. The new commercial kitchen is much larger, has much more storage. So we think between all of that, once the new facility is up and running, we'll be able to manage those deliveries, time them so that there's no backups like this. Also, we do want to try to use the second elevator for guest access as well. So more important that we do have a schedule in place.
So with, the point being, with much larger storage space, you can have much less frequency of delivery.
I think it's reasonable.
Somebody's delivering dishware or things in big cases, boxes. You could put a lot more in your storage, so you don't have to have them come as often. And then, as you said, you schedule them anyway, so
Right.
Great.
I don't think doesn't sound like there's gonna typically be a lineup of delivery trucks there.
No, we have walk-in coolers with the new design.
Yeah.
If you saw what was there today, you would be shocked that how many
Yeah.
people can eat out of that kitchen. So it'll be a different ballgame.
Okay.
I'm just going through Chris's notes again.
You
One
got
was,
all these down, so if you wanna just,
2, right?
what did we have?
yeah,
The mechanical screening,
Screening, landscaping.
landscaping, and,
parapet screening for mechanical.
Vendor signs to
yeah,
the back.
parking, yeah.
And landscape plan to not restrict sightlines, right?
Do not
From the,
restrict.
I put note on landscape plan to not restrict sightlines leaving the parking garage. I don't know, but something like that. I don't have anything else.
Parking signs.
Parking signs.
Yeah, like commercial, no commercial loading or unloading, or
Out front.
deliveries,
Out
yeah.
front, yes.
So post no delivery signage out front? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. I mean, we can't really police if a driver decides to park
No.
anywhere, but we can at least
Deter.
do the best
Do the best we can.
we can, and you guys want to provide an enjoyable experience for
You got that one?
guests and also people surrounding your
Good parking signs,
business, so.
commercial signs, and loading zones.
anything to help direct people into the right spot.
There was a concern raised about facades. How did you want to address that?
Signs, just put,
Do you have the specific concern?
no, just
The standard prohibits blank facades facing the streets. And then,
I think that was probably an old comment that we went over 2 meetings ago.
It was in green. There was the
and put this,
up Beach Street Hill, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
include
Yeah,
all
that-
parking zones.
So as part of the updates
Yeah, that-
that we did, particularly up Beach Street, we added additional windows to eliminate those blank facades. Same on the back of the hotel along Freeman Street. We substantially added additional windows to address that comment.
Yeah, it's complete. We have 3 now.
Yep. Then there was comments about the massing, and that there's two fields of massing. One was, does the structure feel like it's broken up? Which I feel like we answered with the turret and roofing design, and
Setback.
yeah, the
building's setback from the others, right?
It is setback due to the shoreline requirements. We do have to set the building back.
So that breaks up the massing from the front, and then there's roof line declination and back up again from the front.
Yep.
Which is the key, I think. From the side, from Beach Street side going up the hill, but who's looking? There is one house there that, you know, that from their backyard, they could look in from there. From Freeman Street, it is what it is, as long as they don't have to look at mechanicals.
Yep. And then as far as massing is relation to buildings around it,
Wow.
the buildings on Beach Street are all kind of large in stature from
The
the
ones down the corner, down the
Down the
intersection.
corner, yeah.
planning house, meeting house.
Yeah, they are. They're not as long and they're not as big, but they're big enough. It's
In
not like it's completely out of character. It's out of character with the homes nearby, but the whole thing is that that part of the beach village, whatever you call it, kind of ends there.
yeah, it's on the edge of the
It's
zone.
on the edge, you know, so it always was different.
Yep. So in the York Beach Village Design Center standards, it wants us to do an approval for these, the design standard itself. We haven't done those since I've been on the board, so I'm not sure the
And
proper
I-
procedure.
I've not done that before. We were doing, we had a board for a while.
Design review.
Commission design review, but it was only the harbor.
Okay.
It ended at where the trailer park thing is on York Street.
Okay. So there's a flow chart on here, and and depending on if it met code enforcement review or planning board review, then it would go through our process after it was accepted, looks like, and then it would receive design review approval.
But that was when
Where is that?
that's when we had that invoked. We don't have that
In the York Beach
anymore.
Village.
York Beach Village Design Standards.
Yeah.
That was the harbor review, harbor board.
That's true, that's true, that's true.
Any page?
Page 7 has the flow chart. So I would assume it was just a motion to approve the designs per the standards of the York Beach Village Designs Ordinance? If that's something,
I think it would make sense.
Brendan, would you agree with that as a motion?
I would agree with that.
I'll make that motion if you want.
Please.
It's called York Village.
York Beach Village Center Design Standards.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion. Approve me. Mr.
Please do.
Chair, Thank you.
You normally just go right into it, so, but
But I'm being a good boy.
very
today.
formal. I love it.
I'm trying to be a good boy today. Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the design for the Union Bluff Hotel expansion, 8 and 10 Beach Street, map 24, lot 35, 36, and 37, as meeting the standards of the York Beach Village Center design. Meeting the York Beach Village Center's design standards.
Can I add an amendment to that?
Yes,
Excluding the mechanical roof screening standard.
Okay,
Or should we wait to make this motion at final?
Because that's
I
not
would
part
wait
of these
because it's a
standards.
condition.
Yeah,
It's not part of these standards.
it is.
It is?
It is, but I would wait until later because it's a condition. So you don't need to amend the current standard if you're going to condition a certain standard later.
I agree.
Then it must be right.
But they've received approval for the design. But it's still a condition to meet,
It's preliminary,
right?
not,
Any advice on that one?
Well, the board could potentially hold off on approving the design until final, wrapping that up into one final motion. As I'm sure there might be further discussion that might alter the design throughout the final approval process as well.
So a motion has been made. Would that just not get seconded and die?
I can rescind it.
Or rescind?
You can rescind it.
Mr. Chair, I rescind the motion.
There you go.
Just to give the applicant some guidance, can we take straw poll on what our opinion is based on the design? Just so we don't keep going back and forth, or if it's not needed, we
This
can
is a
just move
fairly
along.
complex application, design, building, whatever word you want to say, with all kinds of factors that the design standards would apply to, entrance doorways that are receded, whatever you call it?
Recessed.
Recessed, and windows that have certain matching characteristics and heights, and we didn't do that. We didn't go through step by step and do all of them. So I'm a little,
I think Chris had done it, and I personally had gone through
oh,
some of the standards.
Chris had done it?
Yeah, he
Yes.
was the one that was
in
calling
the-
out the mechanical terrace and referencing that.
Okay, referencing that,
Yeah.
which means he went through it.
And their architect had the letter that had kind of touched.
Well, then I take all that back.
And then just if I may, like, just for more context, on previous meetings, there was I think there were comments from Chris, like on the window design. I think the glass patio doors, things like that, that they felt weren't meeting the standard, so we did accommodate all of that as
The
well.
rhythm and, yeah, everything. So I think that was 2 or 3 meetings ago.
So we can
Want
just
me
move
to try
forward.
that motion or not?
I think wait until final on that. I'll just say my personal feel is as long as the rooftop mechanical issue has a good solution that meets the intent of the ordinance, to pretty much camouflage it in the roof, I'm personally okay, but I'm just one member.
Yep, I appreciate that. I would add, with, I guess, the ambiguity of the word harmonious shapes, is there any suggested architectural features specifically? Obviously, we can match the color white or the color of the roof, whatever preferred. But I guess the ambiguity of the wording of that language, if there was any suggested.
Do you have the front face elevation
Yep.
handy? That would be good to talk about and give you some guidance on it.
So right now, it's just kind of like slotted. Like, again, we haven't fully designed it, but, slotted typical HVAC screening that you'd see on most commercial.
The intent is to, if you've been to Hannaford, there's a new housing area, and you can kind of see all the new mini split.
Yeah.
The heat pumps on the top of the roof, so this would screen it. But sometimes, in my opinion, a screen can stick out more than the equipment itself, if not done right, so.
Yeah, it should be some kind of lattice or fencing, or not just a sheet of steel, Yeah, something with its own character. A little bit.
Yeah, you kind of have like an arched design. I know you kind of have that roof patio called out in an arched arrow format, but it kind of would pull my eyes into, instead of having a square box, if it was kind of rounded,
Okay.
pull in some of the architectural features that are around, or even a peak, or,
So as it is a four-sided structure,
oh, yeah.
you're gonna
Like a
have
dome.
four arches.
Yeah.
Make them gold.
So possibly a
Like
peak then?
McDonald's. It's up to you. I mean, we'll make it work however you guys prefer.
I don't know how tall the equipment is, or how tall the need of that partition would have to be, but
Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm not sure the actual mechanical equipment has been actually sized and figured out. But
Could you hide it by adding another, I don't even know what it's called, like.
turret?
Yeah, thank you. To kind of just blend it all in.
Or move it behind a turret?
What is it?
what's up?
Can you move it behind a turret? Just run the lines a little farther?
Something that you put on.
I would have to coordinate with the
that'd be a
MEP,
possibility.
and really that only hides it from the front. It doesn't address the other three sides of it.
But we could look at relocating it, so maybe some of it gets
Right.
hidden behind a turret. That's, all part of once we get into final design and we keep these factors in mind.
Yeah, if it hides one side, you only have to hide
Sure.
three now.
Right.
Versus four.
Good suggestion.
Is it your,
Of course.
are you anticipating this will have to come back?
yeah, this would just be for preliminary.
Okay.
That would be my feel on that. I'd love to give you more.
That's enough.
On that,
Yeah,
it's-
no, we understand it's a difficult.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it'd be great if it was sunken down into the roof structure somehow, or, not totally invisible, because I know it needs to be up there. There's clearances it has to make, but definitely not a box.
when you're on
Yeah.
the top floor in your, in the room.
Right. Oh, it depends where it is.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able
But
to
they
put,
solve the engineering problem as
Yeah.
well as this.
if they're able to put the mechanicals along the center of the flat roof,
Right.
then you don't have to.
They're halfway
screen-
there, you're right.
You don't have to have the screening as high, so.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows if that's doable? It depends on a lot of things then.
Right.
But I do notice that every time I leave Hannaford,
Oh, yeah.
it's just
I'm gonna notice it now.
advertisement for mini split heat company.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have some conditions to deal with.
Yep.
If we are gonna approve for preliminary. We mentioned the motion that the design adheres, we approve the design as meeting these standards.
Yep, for the roofing, which we were just talking about.
Should that motion,
Do you have the language for that? It was like 6D.
I just have approved
It was,
approved design of, I didn't put the, of what, of the, of the roof,
It's mechanical screening.
of the mechanical screening.
can we read it from the,
Which is 6.
Well, I
6D.
had a condition to
Yeah.
provide a parapet, to provide parapet screening of the mechanicals on the roof.
So, yeah, that are in line with section 6D.
To adhere to section 6B,
D as in
the
dog.
dog? Yep.
you have this,
No, you do.
of that,
In that, yep.
so that's, but that will be one of the conditions.
Sorry, could I just jump in? On Chris's memo, the one I have says 6B.
6B, I think, was another item he was bringing up about the shape of
Okay.
Yeah.
turrets, maybe?
Okay,
6D
just-
is other roof design objectives.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I was originally looking at, for section B, and I was like, that's not what it is. So I just-
Yeah, 6B says linear roofs.
Thank you.
It's always good for clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to get, can I ask a question about the mechanical
Yeah.
screening again? Just so, I think guidance is important, right, as we get in. So, would like a slatted fence type feature that blends in, like, blends in color-wise with the building, would that be something that work? I'm just trying to think of
Yeah.
things that we've done in the past in other buildings that,
Well, it says
Maybe-
right here should be integrated into the roof design through the use of similar colors and harmonious shapes. So I mean, I feel that fits the description.
okay.
Something that would attract versus
Yeah.
detract. to
Look,
the
I'm
design.
getting thrown off by the curve
Yeah.
comment, and so I feel like that might be more difficult to achieve, but
Yeah.
a slatted structure that allows wind to pass through it, color matching, okay.
Sometimes I've seen.
It could be, not a perfect pyramid, but it could be, I would imagine, that sort of design. It just looks like another peak in the roof, but set back.
Yeah, if it could be blended in with the roof itself. I've seen some buildings where it's a flat roof, but then they do the Mansard style
Around it,
mechanical sunken in
inside it,
on that flat roof.
right.
So you don't really see it. That would be the ideal, where it's just hidden behind the roofing material itself, or a faux roof was.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. I don't know what it was called to match the,
The turrets.
thank you.
Right.
Turrets. Thank you. So it's like a,
Like an open top.
yeah, it's just aesthetically it's there, but it has no function.
Yep.
I think the point is there are lots of options that are available that will satisfy us collectively.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet.
Not a big box.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not a box. You have free creative reign.
I mean, even a traditional, I don't know, what are they, widow walks? That's just like a fenced in. Carry the, I don't know. I'd have to see it,
But those are not necessarily opaque. So, I mean,
Right.
there's,
but it's harmonious with the design of the building itself, just to see
yes.
a railing installed above it.
Yep.
If it
This
looks
is
bad,
why you
that
didn't
wasn't my
become an
idea.
architect.
As long as it doesn't encourage anybody to
I was
go up
thinking
there
about
and
the
walk.
pickets just now, and I'm like, okay, we'll take the balcony pickets and,
Right. I
Again,
feel like I've
there's
seen
lots of
houses
yeah,
different
so, okay.
alternatives.
at the end of Freeman Street. I think there's a house that has like a deck.
There
Yeah,
is.
But there's like no door to it.
Right.
It's just a deck.
Hopefully, we've given you some options.
Jump up to it.
Yeah, you gotta jump up and
All
jump
right,
down. Okay,
so
sorry.
continuing, working on the conditions, we have mechanical
Yep, then it's the landscaping.
landscaping to increase site distance or ensure site distance.
Yep.
To not restrict, okay.
Yep.
To not restrict site distance,
Yep,
leaving the parking garage.
and then there's,
Post a no
Signs.
delivery signage, and she had commercial no delivery signage at the front of the hotel.
Any other items for preliminary?
No, we didn't get financial capacity resolved, but that's not necessarily for preliminary, is it? You need it for final.
We provided that, I think, the last
Yeah,
time, the last go
they-
around.
At the previous meeting, it was provided in the packet.
I must have missed it.
We submitted a revised letter, that was the comment.
Okay, I will find it. I didn't see it.
Are you ready?
Do you want to look?
Yeah, I'm not even sure which.
Let's see if I That was in this most recent packet.
Not the
No, it's not
most,
the most recent.
not
No.
the most recent, the one before. So I think that was a December submission.
Gotta go back in time. The 11th? Nope. 4th. Brendan's on.
The 11th.
So this is the one that was previously submitted in December with the updated language as requested.
I saw it. I know that. I don't have it, but I saw it.
There's one on display if you want to. Can you zoom in?
Must have
on
been
it?
December
Excellent.
4th.
Is that from the December form? Maybe?
You zoomed in now, maybe you can read it.
Oh, I think that was the one I found unacceptable.
I can pull up the,
Either way.
I can pull up the previous one too. But this is the revised one.
No, this was the one I said was not, I didn't find acceptable.
What was your objection to it?
It's, the author is of the view that they have the expertise and financial wherewithal. First of all, I don't know that he is the right person to comment on expertise. And second of all, there's no financial data to back it up.
We don't usually have that. We
This is a large project.
Well, I understand, but the onus goes on to the bank or financial institution or whoever that person is representing with their signature. And
Part of their application process to make it to this point, they would have to provide financial stability and statements in order to
So-
even come before the board.
So from the 6428 in the site subregs, financial capacity, the applicant shall provide documentation from a bank or other established financial institution acceptable to the planning board with an evaluation as to the applicant's financial capacity to successfully undertake and complete the proposed project.
Aren't we relying on the signee there, that he has gathered the information?
But that's not what his letter says. You are correct.
Okay. All right. I mean, I can vouch for Chris if you want.
Intent to fund.
Intent to fund as well as adequate cash balances to complete the project in its entirety.
Okay.
how do you
I
not,
see what you,
I don't see what he's saying. I mean, if you want to see a financial statement, that implies that you and I know enough to know whether that financial statement is adequate.
I
mean,
withdraw my comment.
I wouldn't know.
I would.
Well,
I see how the letter isn't specific in
It's
what you're
it's
looking
squishy.
for. Right.
Yeah, that's fine. If you guys are good with it, I'm fine.
We're a longtime customer of Kennebunk Savings.
yeah, how many hotels do you have?
We own 55 hotels
55 hotels.
throughout New England.
Okay.
It's,
We've
this to death.
developed 20 properties. We do have the technical capability, expertise.
I have no
developing
question
real
about
estate.
your technical expertise to develop, construct, own, and operate.
I think-
That's not the question. That's the focal point of my question.
I'm not speaking for you, but what I'm gathering is that the letter itself isn't, in your mind, hitting the mark for
No.
what the ordinance is asking for.
Yes.
So do we need to request a better letter from the,
I don't think for this application, I think
Maybe
moving forward,
prospectively.
if we update the ordinance to be more clear, we could do something on a workshop where some
And then
language is
Or
added
a
to-
banker who says, I am familiar with the town of York zoning ordinance. In my view, as a financial expert, I believe this applicant has the financial wherewithal and meets the criteria something like that.
I do like that. A lot better.
Do other applications that
think-
I've submitted financial?
I raise this every
Capacity.
time
No, I
we go through
understand.
this.
No,
I understand. I'm just looking for consistency for this example and going forward.
I think David's point is going forward, we'll try and come up with something more consistent, applied on a uniform basis. And then at this point, the proverbial cow is out of the barn.
What about a,
previous applicant tonight had a very squishy letter, and he actually had to go back and get another one. That was 2 meetings ago, I think.
just for the sake of discussion in this case, we could perhaps request a more, or in the future for an ordinance, request a more definite construction estimate that is then verified by that financial institution.
We've suggested that, and we've put that in place where the town had a financial risk for public works, where the applicant was required to fund common improvements. So we've done that before. That was before you joined the town. This is slightly different and not as onerous. But again, David raises a good point. We should be applying it prospectively, not with hindsight.
Right. And I think if the ordinance is tweaked and
Everybody has notice.
whoever's bringing something before the board, this is what we need, this is what it has to say, they give it to the bank delivers.
I think this is a discussion for a workshop.
Yeah.
We should carry forward with this application as it is right now.
Agreed.
We have a workshop on the 9th.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, any other items for preliminary that need to be resolved?
I don't believe so.
No.
Are you doing this or am I doing it?
I would love for you to.
You'd love for
I would love for you to. You took better notes than I did, that's why.
Maybe.
Sounded good at the dry run there.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to approve, to give preliminary approval
Thank you.
to the application from the Union Bluff Hotel expansion, 8 and 10 Beach Street, map 24, lot 35, 36, and 37, with the following conditions. That the applicant provide parapet screening of the mechanicals on the roof, which adheres to the section 6B of
D for dog.
D as in dog.
6D of the York Beach Village Center Design Standards. That there be a note on the landscaping plan to not restrict sight lines leaving the parking garage. That they post a commercial no delivery sign at the front of the hotel. Period.
Motion's been made.
Can I make a possible,
Amendment, revision.
For signs, should we also include no parking with no loading zones?
That's a town thing, I think.
Yeah, it was more for the commercial,
Town-
Okay,
Yeah.
because their guests will be,
in and out, okay.
Do we need a plan note for the box trucks and timing of deliveries?
Well, these are conditions, so you want to add
I think
No.
that
I don't see that.
we've had a motion. So I don't want to talk too much in between that and the second, but
Get a second, then we can have a
Yeah.
discussion.
Second,
it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
What's the discussion?
There was box truck discussion.
Do we need some memorialization, whether a plan note or otherwise?
I think the plan states that it was engineered for WB 40, wheelbase
Correct.
40.
Yes,
So
that does it?
that doesn't
Yeah.
restrict someone coming in with a bigger vehicle.
Yeah, but that's
if-
not the hotel. The hotel can't control that.
Exactly.
No, the plan as revised and presented today, had altered the original plan, had totally changed the original plan to make deliveries inside the garage, upstairs.
So your point is the semi couldn't go in the garage, so we don't even have to address it.
Whatever.
Or if it-
The whole issue we were having before was trying to manage deliveries out front
Yes.
or in Seabury, whatever that little street is that goes up in between.
Blocking the streets.
So they overcame that totally by requiring deliveries to be in the garage with whatever truck can make it, right? Yeah, I think.
And the town has ordinances with regards to delivery times and noise.
Not to this extent.
No, I don't think so.
No, they don't.
Not,
But I think the applicant shared,
That there was normally early.
correct, there's a schedule that I don't think that we need to make any amendments.
Right.
5
I
AM,
think in previous discussion, the whole issue of managing delivery trucks was beaten to death. And we killed it.
Yeah.
And,
I think it becomes an enforcement issue too.
We
'cause
don't
it-
have,
The
we don't
police
have,
can't really do anything, in my opinion, to delivery times and then,
and neither can we.
right.
only the hotel management can
Yes.
Right.
police it
Yep.
best they can.
So we have any other items?
No.
I just, the whole 5 AM thing, I mean, I'm fine with 6 AM. I mean, but
A lot of the
But we have
times,
a motion in place that
I
we're looking to
realize.
see if it needs to be modified.
There's,
a lot,
It doesn't address any times to do with delivery, the motion, so,
right, I realize that.
okay, I just don't want to get too far off.
No,
field.
I just want to hear some opinions on this.
down there, they use backpack blower at 3:30 in the morning to clean the sidewalks. So,
Yeah.
welcome to York Beach.
Okay,
Don't you wish you lived in York?
And then the street sweeper comes in at 4 o'clock.
yes.
okay, all right. 5 is probably okay.
But we keep her clean, boy.
Right.
So we have a motion and seconded.
yes.
We do.
I will
Any,
stand by the
any
motion.
further discussions?
Nope.
No.
Ready to vote?
Take a vote. Mark?
Yes.
Crystal?
Yes.
Pete?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 5-0. And we will see you guys around final submission.
Yep. Yeah, we'll try and get it as soon as possible.
Thank you,
Yep. Thank you very much.
Peter, for your patience.
Thank you. We appreciate the
Thanks for your work,
feedback.
effort.
Thank you for taking a lot of our considerations from the last meeting
Yes, and
into
implementing them,
this
I would,
revised
agree with that.
version. I really appreciate the time and attention that you put into this
I
new
fully second that.
application.
This,
Put it to a vote.
Yeah.
this application, they addressed every single thing at every meeting so far. And found a solution for it. So, this is somewhat rare. It is, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone need a quick 5-minute break or anything?
No,
Roll right in?
roll it.
Okay.
Here comes the press.
Up next on the agenda this evening is York River Landscape Company, 272 US Route 1.
So this has been in the queue since early 2024. It stems from some back and forth with the code office and the property owner with respect to the actual use of the property. Originally, from my understanding, it was originally a home occupation use that has since developed into a full commercial use and now with a mixed-use element. Let me see from here. This was last heard in July of 2025. It was continued until receipt of acceptable materials. The largest issues still at play include the right title and interest for the driveway access, of which the applicant has provided a 3-year lease for the driveway. The inclusion of housing on the property concerns include the safety of having dwelling units be attached to a commercial garage, and the relation of workers as per the definition of the dwelling units in Article 2 of the zoning ordinance. Mechanisms and plans for if and when the lease expires for the property, as the physical landscape would have to change. And with respect to the enforcement aspect of the plan, the code office has provided comment to the board for their belief on the applicant's proposals for the enforcement itself.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I wish to say good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Greg Orso here for York River Landscaping, and then the smarter half of our team, Drew Olahowski here for, as the engineer. John Chagnon is also been the engineer in this case. Drew's though has appeared at one of these hearings.
Okay.
Pull your mic.
So I just need to turn the mic on and then also spell your names for the record, if you could.
Greg Orso, O-R-S-O, and I'm not gonna spell Drew's last name. I'll let him take care of that.
Olehowski.
Thank you.
But he's also part of the record. He's been at previous meetings on this case. I think where it was left off, it was in the summertime, and where it was left off was that right title and interest issue. My client and myself have spent a number of months, and we negotiated a lease that we think will be longer term, but it's a 3-year lease. It's part of the packet. And I think that would satisfy the right title and interest piece of this, which was, according to Chris's last letter, was sort of where things left off. We're happy to address any of the issues that were raised in Chris's review or the code officer's letter of 2 days ago. But for purposes of moving forward, we don't have anything else to say at this point.
Okay, thank you. Speaking of Chris's review, it's kind of a good template to follow.
Sure. And you have that, Drew? Yeah, I got one here too. I think we're up to green.
We are green. The previous application got into purple, so.
He's got a ways to go.
Well, nobody wants to reach purple.
I'm just going through, I think page 4. Starting with the compliance with town ordinance.
That's, is that page 5? It might be
It's
printed out differently.
Yeah, PDF page 5, but,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry, no, that's my fault.
So Chris made a note, commercial use service business. I think code had weighed in on that, saying that it was similar use to either service business or plumbing, electrical, carpentry shop, where we don't have a specific use for landscape companies.
Right, and it's point 1 on the code enforcement's letter. Code office recommends that the local fire chief walk the entire property for life safety issues, including at the garage. At minimum, the code office recommends the garage be brought up to the current code for its fire separation requirements per the 2021 IBC.
Okay, that's more.
Yeah, and to comply with that IBC standard, we would expect just to need to upgrade the wall separating the garage and the residential structure, get that up to a 2-hour rated firewall, which we could likely accomplish via just adding some sheetrock in that building. So we'd be perfectly fine with doing that.
Okay.
So,
That sounds like something code is requiring. Is that something we need to have a plan note added to the?
I would recommend including it as a plan note, just because it is an alteration of the structure that is being kind of greenlit by the board but the code office would make sure that that was the case, like actually in compliance, regardless of it being a note or not.
Okay.
and you are suggesting, or you've stated, you can accomplish that by adding sheetrock?
That's right, just upgrading that wall.
Fire resistant grade?
Or just, 2 layers of 5/8 normally gets a 2-hour rating.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it would be appropriate to put in the wording, just to address the issue of fire blocking. Not just that they're gonna add sheet rock to the wall.
I think we would just generalize it as we will meet the IBC code. So once we
Oh,
dig
that.
into those
Yeah.
details, yeah.
Somehow,
And then that's
yeah.
code's determination, but we made sure it was known.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. I think code's letter kind of is more,
Well,
Concise.
it's related to where you were on zoning, on
Yeah.
compliance.
I'm trying to follow both at the same time.
Right. Dimensional requirements seem to be fine. Storage bins, compliance item 2B talks about the content.
I'm just trying to go through Chris's document and keep
Right.
the code office in mind. So there was the parking. Chris had pointed out that there's 15 employees proposed.
Yeah.
And just kind of clarifying the parking calculations. So let me give you where that is so you know what I'm talking about. So
Is that 6?
Page 7, item 6, point 6B. Plans in the application state 15 employees. Traffic assessment describes 15 commercial vehicles coming and going to the site. This would mean a landscape contractor crew of 1 employee. Applicant should clarify. So I guess it's just,
Yeah, on that one, I mean, I think we talked to our client this afternoon about it, and he would confirm, if you just need something on the plan identifying that there's no more than 15, is that what, I mean, is that what Chris is talking about there, just not addressed?
I think there was,
No more than 15 trucks on site?
the traffic report had said one thing and then summary had said something else, perhaps.
What would we need to do to rectify that? Well, and what we would confirm it, I mean, we'd get our client to confirm it, I guess that's the question.
Right, so only 5 employees while there are 15 pickup trucks. The applicant should provide restate business program information that would make clear the parking demand. So what exactly is the parking demand for the business? Either from how many trucks are actually needed on sites? Just, I think a clear narrative on that would be
Sure,
the best.
and I think the sort of the backstory there is that you will have, there are 15 trucks on site, and they leave the site. There's some, God bless you, there is some amount of trucks that come back on the site because there'll be certain workers, you know, maybe 8 trucks stay on site during the day because they pick up the York River landscaping trucks. There's not 15 on site all day, there's just 15 on site that potentially can be stored there for 15 employees, but many of them are gone all day, and there are still some trucks on site, but we can get a narrative for you on that, to make that crystal clear. And we can run it by planning so that they're satisfied with that.
So you're saying, like, the employees come in their vehicles?
And then they take
Park
truck
them.
vehicles.
Okay.
And a lot of times they come in, 3 of them come in one vehicle, so there might be 6 during the day that are just, you know, your,
Employee vehicles.
yeah, employee vehicles, not unrelated to the landscaping work actually being done. That's my understanding, but we'll get whatever planning wants on that. We can get a narrative that makes them feel comfortable about it.
I think also,
There are only 5 employees. That's my question.
Well, there's only, I mean, there are more than 5 employees for the business.
So, well, his note, maybe I'm reading wrong. The required parking calculations depicted on C3
Yep.
appear to be less than the program used in the traffic report, stating there are only 5 employees.
And I think that's part of the, I believe that's probably an error.
Yeah, the revised plans have updated that. The parking calculations now show 15 employees on sheet C3.
Okay, so,
So that was an old comment, I believe.
so then we can,
At least the original part was an old comment, sorry.
Yeah, it's in a different color. That's the only
so
way.
what's the current traffic reports number?
We have 15 employees, 1 space per employee, so 15 spaces.
So to me, that comment's addressed already now.
yeah, in the red, but have we looked at C3 and the traffic report? Anyway, okay.
Yeah. And I think,
But we'll get the narrative for that, too.
perfect.
Make sure you feel comfortable with that.
Is the number of tenants different than the number of employees?
Yes.
Do we have a number of tenants?
Well, the current number is what we've provided previously,
Okay.
and as part of that diagram. And again, we're talking, it's not year-round, because in the wintertime, there are just a few people living there, a couple of people living there. This is not a year-round obligation, but the tenants that are currently living there, 11, that during the height of the season.
Sorry, 11?
11 during the height of the season.
And then how many during the off-season?
Considerably less. There's the same people, but there's several that go away for the wintertime.
I thought I had read somewhere that they didn't want more than 5 in that house.
Yeah, there might be two concepts that are being mixed. One is what Mr. Smith just made reference to in the previous plan. The other part of that is that under our density requirements, you have a definition of family unit. And you can't have more than 5 members of not a family unit. So if you have, you have a family unit of a dozen people, that satisfies the requirement for that dwelling unit. So that's why in a previous meeting, we had to provide evidence of that,
Okay.
of the family tree, that the people are related, that there aren't more than 5 people unrelated. There are actually only 3, there's 3 groups of people that are all related.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
Yeah,
That I didn't see when I reviewed this.
You're all cousins.
there were several cousins.
Well,
Oh,
if you're encouraging your siblings to join, it must be an okay business.
Supposed to be taking this seriously. Shame on me.
And a clarifying question, tenants are employees?
Yes.
Are they separate? They're
No.
the same. Okay,
Yeah, they're the only people that live there are employees.
okay, okay.
So the next item on Chris's review, and then we'll get to the code review. Exterior lighting, this was for the entrance of the.
Sure. So our input here is that these are existing entrances. The building operates fine now without issue. It is a seasonal business at the ending time of 8 p.m. So in the summer, there is still daylight at that time for the most part. So our opinion was that extra lighting isn't necessary or required just because, again, it's currently operational without issue. We would be happy to add lights if that is what the board wants, but again, we personally don't believe it to be necessary.
This was a request from DPW. So,
Sure.
I would be comfortable with not needing them if there was a letter provided. So if you talk with DPW and they give the go-ahead,
Okay.
that's just me. I'm only one.
But if your business is wrapping up, doing fall cleanups, spring cleanups in March, it's not light at 8 p.m. And if you're doing fall cleanups in November, it's not light at 8 p.m.
Sure.
I think it'd be great to have it.
The better part of valor would be for you to put a light there.
It'll probably be
This
easier to
could
put a
turn
light than
into
get a letter.
An issue.
Yep. Sure.
that-
Lights are needed, that's what we'll have.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I'm just not willing to override a suggestion from town
understandable.
staff.
Neither are we. No, we don't want to do that.
So there's that one. So-
We got that.
We can go into,
What about, under the new comments, 12?
yeah. We can talk about the lease agreement.
Yeah, they got a 3-year.
Yep. And with options to renew, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. And
Yep, they do.
Those are pretty good terms. I would definitely
Yep.
renew something like that. So.
We intend, my client intends to do that.
Yep.
Good old Mike. He is getting old.
So that satisfies the right title of interest for being able to use that
I think
egress.
The other access, yep.
We can
Yes,
get-
I believe that.
I think Chris, down in his review, had some language. We had the fallback option if the lease had expired for you to demonstrate. Can you interpret what Chris was saying?
Right, Chris, he wanted to provide just kind of an option or more or less guidelines for if the lease had expired and the access had to change, then what that procedure would actually look like. So that could be its own section of the plan notes, just stating exactly what needs to be, where done by, when done by, and then who is contacted for proof or receipt of these changes.
Is this the thing he's calling the driveway option plan?
Yeah, it's, I think it's in 14,
Yeah, on the
on
next
page 10, yeah.
Yeah,
Or it starts on 13, 13D.
well, we know the findings of fact are gonna be recorded, so,
Oh, yeah, no, go up a page. Driveway option plan should not be considered a new complete approved site plan.
Right.
I think that was more to demonstrate that without that access, the business can still function.
That's right, yeah. Yep.
And then I think code says it's more of a civil matter at that point, but at least we're not approving something that's doomed without a lease
Absolutely, no.
Or non-compliant.
or non-compliant.
non-compliant,
Yeah, we're trying to get out of that, that mode, so. Okay, go back up. Overnight container storage, again, I think it's further addressed in the code's letter. And that was more the landscape trailers themselves, I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And then Chris's comments about just titling revisions.
Yep, those are easy enough to change. Yep, no problem.
Am I jumping around too much?
No, there's actually logic to it. It's good.
All right. Feels choppy, but there's forward progress here.
Productive.
So updating this town standard plan notes.
Yeah, I believe that would be required as well. Just to update those, make sure that those are updated, and Drew, I can email those to you or John, or both.
Yeah, both would be good. Thank you.
Which also include the signature blocks on all the pages.
Sure.
Did you just mention that?
No, that's a different thing entirely, but I can also send that information as well.
Thank you.
The plan should be revised following. All right, so now we're back to the driveway options. So Chris is recommending adjusting the title and removing all duplicative information on Plan C3. So it's more of an attachment with the plan set than a signed, approved document. Is that correct?
Yeah, we went through all those things too, and I mean, we would have no problem with that stuff.
And in each sheet, I mean, since this is a site plan, then each sheet would end up having the chair's signature on it as well. So-
Okay. Including that option.
So it would be signed and dated that this was a part of the approved process.
Okay. So section 13, you have covered.
Yep.
I won't go through A through F then. Item 14 goes back to the lease agreement.
Yep.
So then he has draft conditions of approval, which that's more notes for us if we get to that point. So let's jump over to code's memo or letter to the board. Item 1 we briefly talked about would be updating the garage to 2021
yep.
IBC code. Item 2, storage bins. This is for the park mulch and crushed stone. It was talking about the impervious surface calculations.
Yep, so I reviewed that earlier today. If those areas are considered impervious, it would add about 1,000 square feet of impervious to our total. That would still keep us at around 49% for the total lot coverage, and in this zone, the limit is 50%. So we are still good there, which is, I assume, is the big point he wanted to make from that.
Okay.
So we're fine with updating that table.
I think that as long as that was included on, as a plan note and just verified on there, then that would be excellent.
Update the calculations and.
Update the calculations and state clearly that this is part of, where this information came from as well. You can do that in the surface area chart on the left side.
Yep.
As we're going through this checklist, just procedure-wise, would this be for preliminary
Yes.
approval? Okay. I didn't know how final the conditions needed to be. So I feel like there's a little bit of a catch having a process after this still. So item 3, code is weighing in on the density and family.
This is complicated.
This is, it was talking about how it was a duplex or a two-family home prior, but that seems to have lapsed at some point in time, so it cannot be put back into one, I believe.
Yeah, the issue there, or what I took out of that, because we've had, we've reviewed this a number of times, is primarily what's on the second page, which is essentially he's against us putting a condition on there that we have to update that annually.
Right.
So, we obviously wouldn't object to that, but I think it makes sense to sort of make sure we're in compliance, but if the code doesn't have the resources to deal with that, that's nothing that we can do. We can't control that. But the issue, I think, still comes down to the density issue, which is if you have one dwelling unit with as long as you satisfy the requirements of the family, that's all you need for purposes of the property.
So is there a plan note stating that it's a single-family dwelling? Maybe just to call that.
I don't know that there is.
Or building type.
Density to meet town requirements.
Yeah, it says, it identifies the dwelling unit to meet, occupancy to meet town requirements. I don't
And
know if there's
nothing about the family relationships, though.
I think this is more of
Basically changing the use of the daycare unit to that of either residential or commercial.
right. So expanding if it's set up as a duplex right now, but it would have to conform to a single-family home.
Right. Or, either the way I interpret it is either to convert that second unit into a dwelling unit and consider that as a change of use, or to change the use of the daycare unit to some kind of commercial use. Or update that, I should say, to a single family. My apologies.
So are you saying with two family or two dwelling units on that?
Well, so it was originally a non-conforming, legally existing but non-conforming two-family, with one unit being converted to a daycare
And the
center.
second it was converted, it lost the second
Lost their
dwelling.
lost their grandfather.
Right. So now it would effectively be a single-family home.
Right. So is that worth putting a plan note
Right,
as,
either that or beginning the process of changing the use or changing the use of it, which you can do in this process, so.
Whatever the town wants us to do on that, we'll do.
yeah. Or some of it commercial space, I don't know. It
Yeah.
depends what it's going to be utilized as, so it's not really our decision, right? It's,
Well,
what's the-
whatever we decide is, unless let's say this house is sold.
It's okay.
Right.
So I'm using it anyway.
What's wrong?
It's fine for now.
Oh, the screen.
Yeah, I'll pull it back up if we need it.
You need to put your password in.
It's okay for now. If we need it, I'll bring it back up. Thanks.
we have to think about if this dwelling were to be sold and new owners wanted to do the opposite of whatever we decide, they'd have to go through that process.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the house is owned or is it,
It's owned,
okay,
the property.
by the applicant?
Yeah, the property is
Okay.
owned by,
That's how this all started.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to double check. So, I guess it would be the wishes of the applicant.
Right.
Was how this would kind of drum down, because it's his property to decide what he wants to do with it.
And I misspoke earlier whenever I said that, you could change it back to a dwelling unit. It expressly states in the letter that you cannot go back to that unit becoming a dwelling unit, so it could not be a two-family.
Right. So that ideally you would
So it'd either be
expand it
single?
into
Yeah, larger single.
one large
family.
single family.
Yes.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's fine if you want that note on there.
I don't know if that's what code was hoping we would do, or if we just leave it alone.
I think they were probably, it sounds like, I shouldn't talk for the
It
code.
kind of says leave it
But
alone.
yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that.
Don't touch it.
Don't make it more confusing for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, let's,
So let's put it this way. This is part of the record,
yeah.
so it is not stating, it's stating that it cannot be,
Converted back into a
Into
two-family.
a two-family.
Two-family.
and then whatever you, right now it's
after that?
acting as a single family, single unit. So we'll leave it alone,
Makes sense to me.
okay? Adjacent driveway access. Code office recommends against the annual submission and verification of the lease agreement, so we can table that issue. And like they said, it becomes a civil matter if that access is closed, and at least you have a backup plan with that option.
Yeah.
And then overnight trailer parking, container storage. That was more making sure you're parking in the setbacks, and you've demonstrated that already, correct? The 10-foot.
Yeah.
There was a letter from Goro Palmer too. I think that's, I don't know if they went through that. That's, I think, all
Yeah,
set too.
they had two minor comments at the end of Chris's letter. One was just a note about an erosion control device, just adding silt sock, so we're fine with doing that. And then their second comment was just them saying they have no technical concerns regarding the removal of the access points if the lease expires.
Okay. So, conditions.
Are there any waivers?
There were a couple waivers last time, I think.
There were last time,
Or
but
a
I
bunch
didn't
of
see any
waivers last
that.
time.
Right, so
Several.
those would have been agreed upon, I believe, whenever it was accepted as complete
Then,
in
okay, so we
July.
don't have to. Perfect.
At times, we will accept applications for the purpose of review, but it doesn't give, we can still go back and if there's an item still remaining that
Right.
we accepted the waiver. So there's waivers for not submitting material, or if we feel that it's insufficient material, we can always go back and request more information.
Does that apply?
I was just looking through those waivers, but. I think they're on some older. Brendan, do you happen to have those more handy than I do?
It's on page 11 of 12.
Oh, I get, okay. So. Contour elevation.
Were they all voted on?
If you go back to page 3 of 12, or 3 of 12 and 4 of 12, it shows which ones were granted waivers in green. and which ones were requested. And I think a lot of these, we actually provided additional materials so that we didn't need to continue with the waiver request. Page 4 of 12 of Chris's memo.
Thank you.
And then
So it's the 2-foot contours, which we've accepted it. And we'll have to do it in final anyways, because it's 6-4.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm satisfied.
So let's take a look at Chris's suggested language here. This is more final approval condition language, right?
Yes, that would be for final. So this would, since this is for preliminary, you know, those details could be hammered out through the final process.
Yeah. And you're under the understanding that the remaining items in Chris's review
Yeah,
will
we're
get
good.
satisfied and,
Yeah,
those
and our client's willing to do that.
okay. So with planning board, the code letter, Chris's review, and Goral Palmer's remaining items will get satisfied at final,
Yes.
or final submission.
Before final, yeah.
That'd be a okay condition
Yeah.
for prelim.
You do it.
How do you want to,
So it'd be a preliminary approval for,
This.
with the following condition. That remaining review comments are addressed.
okay,
Any other,
works.
Before final review,
before final submission?
before,
final submission.
Which would include the light and all that.
Check.
okay.
Brendan, any?
So with respect, I know time has been a bit of topic on this item, so just say that, you know, you have after preliminary, if preliminary approval is granted, then there's 6 months, there's a 6-month window to submit the next round of materials, after which it reverts back to preliminary, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd have to look. So at one point, I thought it was, we'd have to
Start over.
Yes.
vote on it as a denial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened too often, so.
No, it's fairly rare.
But, so your comment is, the
Within
time
6
clock
months.
starts
Yep.
after the,
Preliminary.
Date of approval.
Yep.
So we get on conditions, that's the only one?
yeah, to,
Okay,
right? What were you having for condition?
that was the only one. It says, remaining review comments are addressed before final submission.
Right.
Yeah. My handwriting looks like yours, I can't read it. Try my own handwriting.
Encrypted.
It is shorthanded, it's chicken scratch. Mr. Chair, I motion,
Go ahead.
oh, are you giving me
Make
this?
a motion for the application from,
Oh, Mr. Chair, I make a motion to, am I saying accept?
Grant preliminary approval.
Grant preliminary approval for
the application,
the application
Garden Center.
Garden Center, Andrew Campbell, York River Landscaping LLC, located at address 272 US Route 1, tax map 59, lot 19.
No,
Okay. With the following condition that remaining review comments are addressed before final submission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Take a vote. Mark?
Yes.
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 Chair votes yes, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for your time. We appreciate it. We're not going to get to purple. We'll be back in time. And hopefully Peter will still be around.
Yeah, you hear the comments
Did I
earlier?
hear- Did I hear you were leaving?
July 1st.
July 1st. We'll be
The
back.
meter's running.
Yeah.
The meter's running.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for your time. guys.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for applications, but we did have some minutes to review.
We have minutes for March 12th.
Which were short and accurate, as I can say.
Everybody check them carefully. I just printed them on the way out.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a loaded question. If you were setting us up.
I wasn't present for last meeting. I was sick.
Earth
I
to
think
Scotty.
I think you're showing the TV.
So I have no comment on the meeting minutes. Wow, those are really short.
Yeah, it was a workshop meeting, so it was,
Oh, okay.
but we did do the preference votes, so all those passed unanimously, so. That's about all I had.
Just a minor thing, but on line 26, because it's the title of Article 4, uses, and the word definitions should be capitalized. Article 4 is uses and definitions, that's the title.
That's the title of it.
No biggie.
Or, not to yet. So Article 4 uses and Article 2 definitions.
Okay, so there's a catch. And so before the word definitions, add Article 2, right? Patience is listening. Very minor thing, but the way it's put on the 54 at the end, and at the end of that line, I would say for the November 2026 ballot, not 11/26 like it's a date. Because we talk about, that's how we define that
It's more
ballot.
of an event versus a,
Yeah, versus a date. Yeah.
okay.
And
So we would need a motion to approve the minutes for March 12th.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes for the planning board meeting, March 12th, 2026, with the amendments described.
Seconded.
And moved and seconded. Discussions?
I wasn't here. I don't vote, correct?
You could abstain,
Yeah.
which makes my tallying a little more difficult.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Crystal?
Abstain.
Yes.
Yes.
So 4, 0, 1 abstention.
You didn't vote.
And chair votes yes. Thank you. I was already doing the math. All right. Any other business? I see plans that need to get signed.
Yeah, we just need one member to sign. These are the plans for electric light. We just need one more board member signature.
Perfect.
Or everybody can sign if they felt like it.
Did I sign that?
Yes, you did.
I did.
Chair and Pete have both signed.
Only present board members.
That's something I want to mention, well, so it's not everybody, Gail's not here and Wayne's not here, but when I go to sign the plans like that, I find that maybe the chair has come already, or usually, and then I sign, and then there's nobody, like, everybody here should go out of your way to try and go to the town hall and sign the thing.
Well,
If you really
that's-
can't make it, you can't make it.
No, that's interesting, because in the previous planning board I served on, only those present during the voting approval stage were signing of the
That could be the fact, but
documents.
if you weren't,
Which in my defense is why I didn't sign a couple, because I knew I wasn't part of the process or I
And
wasn't involved.
I would need to brush up on the rules myself.
I
because
wasn't-
I
I
know
would
for
double
the
check
most
that.
part, it's only
I
been
really
members
think that's
present.
That's a
No,
much
I-
more
it's been a
thoughtful
thing since I've been on the
I think it
board.
leaves everything
I'm
very
always-
clear at that point.
Yeah.
This is approved.
Yeah, we used to have agendas to know who was present at each, because, I mean, we would used to have like piles of plans to sign, and so we knew who was present and who could sign each plan.
You should have
as far as
that.
being.
But to your point, the applicants are waiting feverishly at that point
Yeah, I
to
mean-
Yeah,
get that last signature to
yeah.
start work. So
It should be as much your obligation as coming to the meeting, because it's really the culmination of all the work we did, and then all of a sudden you don't show up.
No, I agree with that.
Don't show up for
Is there a way you can
happy hour.
double check that? I mean, I'll sign the
Yeah,
plans
yeah,
now, I have no problem doing that,
I'll
but.
sign for.
We can just have
Don't worry,
Steve sign
we're
it
off
today,
our-
and then in the future, I can,
It'd be good to know,
like a roster
but I think that's a better practice.
I do agree.
Yeah,
makes more sense.
It does.
There were
Yeah,
times
yeah,
when
and they used to bring all the plans to the meeting, so we'd like forced to sign them before we walked out the door.
Yeah, we do that.
I haven't had to do that in a while.
Yeah.
It's actually been
We used to
pretty
spread
good
them
with people
out on
coming
that
out to
paper.
sign them.
Yeah.
okay. And
Okay.
then another item, the future land use.
Yes, I'll have to talk with Dylan first thing tomorrow about.
We never set a date to
didn't set a
meet.
date.
Right, and I know that we really actually wanted to start this month, and
Yeah,
now that that's
like already.
passed. Right, so,
Yes, that's a good point. I haven't heard anything.
right, so I'll get with him tomorrow and see if we can set up a date for when we can get started on that.
Okay.
I know right now we are actually, their amendments, I believe, have been made to 1829. So some good clarifications as well as some changes to lot sizes outside of the growth area. That changes as well, so we're waiting on final guidance from the town attorney on that.
Okay.
But for the most part, things seem to be moving, I would say, in a positive direction.
Good to hear.
Well, that's good.
Times that for that type of stuff, it's like morning work for me, where it's more technical and
Not at the end of the day when your brain is
Yeah.
fried and wants to give up.
Mornings are usually best for me as well.
Mine's like that all day.
I know. True.
so if other members, because we'll probably try to set up a time through email
Yes.
to try to hopefully get a meeting before our next workshop.
I would say so. The next workshop's on the 9th of April, I believe.
Yeah.
That's right around the corner.
It is.
So like I said, I'll talk with Dylan tomorrow, see if we can get something in the works and get rolling.
Perfect.
That's good.
Give me a sign.
With that, we can adjourn.
Meeting adjourned. All right, here we go.